Hello everyone, we are back doing our Oak National Academy Year 6 daily recap. So, without much further ado, let's just jump straight into this. So, first, as I always say, you have your P with Joe here. As I say, it's optional, however, I recommend it as it warms up your muscles and yeah. So, lesson 1 here, you'll say saying how you feel in Spanish. Foundations. In this lesson, you're going to recap your previous learning and then learn how to say different emotions in Spanish. By the end of the lesson, you're going to be able to say how you feel. So when you start the lesson, you have your introductory quiz here. How do you say November in Spanish? That would be, you say noviembre. How do you say June in Spanish? That would be junio. How do you say 27 in Spanish? That would be 27. How do you say today is in Spanish? You say hoy es. How do you say today is the 19th of May in Spanish? That would be hoy es el 19 de mayo. After that, you have your video here. So what you're going to do is you're going to recap all your previous knowledge, and then after you recap that, you're going to learn to say how you feel. So then you have your exit quiz here. How do you say how are you in Spanish? You would say ¿Cómo estás? How do you say estoy triste? What does estoy triste mean? That means I am upset. What does estoy fenomenal mean? That means I feel great. How do you say I feel tired in Spanish? Estoy cansado, or cansada if you're a girl. So it would be cansado if you're a boy, or cansada if you're a girl. So how do you say I feel very good in Spanish? That will be estoy muy bien. After that, you've completed your lesson and you'd have lesson 2. Diary entry level lesson 2, reading focus. So in this lesson, you're going to be looking at language questions, vocabulary questions. So first you have your introductory quiz. When answering a reading question, it is important to read the question how many times. You need to read the question twice. How do you answer a fact retrieval question? You pick out the information from the text. To answer an inference questions, it is important to read between the lines to understand what the author is suggesting. Which of the following is most relevant when answering a language question? You need to understand how or why the author has used certain words or phrases. What word would describe ation of the word at the end of a word? That would be a suffix. After that, you'd have your video here, and what you're going to do in the video is you're with Mr. Fozzard. So what you're going to do is your teacher, he's going to answer a few example vocabulary questions, and then you are going to do the same. After that, you do your your independent task here. So first you have your reminders here, and then you have your independent task here. So this following extract is taken from Skellig by David Ormond. So you would read this, and then question 1. What color was the man's jacket? It was black. What evidence in the text suggests that the man is old? So it says in the text that he has creases and cracks on his face. Number 3. Tiny red veins like a dark net across the whites of his eyes. Why has the author used a simile here? That's to let the reader visualize what the character looks like. Number 4. How does the author suggest that the man is being secretive and mysterious? He is doing that by saying that, well, he doesn't answer any of Michael's questions. Find and copy a phrase that suggests that the man doesn't like babies. Well, in the text, he says babies. Spittle, muck, spew, and tears. So that suggests that he doesn't like babies. After that, you would go and mark it. After you marked it, you would have your exit quiz here. Which of the following is an antonym of congealed? That would be softened. Which of the following spellings is incorrect? That's conversation. What type of bird is squawking in the text? It's a blackbird. I'm going, I said. I'll keep them from clearing the place out. I'll bring you more. I won't bring Dr. Death. What does this suggest about Michael? It suggests that he is a caring boy and is concerned for the man. I tiptoed back to the bed. What is the author suggesting about Michael's movements? It's suggesting that he didn't want to disturb anyone else in the house. After that, you would have done that, and you would just have your lesson 3, maths, coordinates and shapes. Coordinates and shapes to recognize nets of 3D shapes. In today's lesson, you're going to learn how to recognize and build 3D shapes. Then you're going to use this information to solve problems. So when you start lesson here, you have your introductory quiz here. You have your introductory quiz. What are the properties of the shape below? That is, so let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 vertices there. What are the properties of the shapes below? It has 8 vertices, 12 edges, 6 faces. What 3D shape could this 2D shape be a face of? So it could be a shape of a square-based pyramid or a triangular prism. Which 3D shape's net is shown below? That is a cuboid. Which 3D shape's net is shown below? That is a square-based pyramid. After that, you'll have your video here with Mrs. Parsons. What you're going to do in the video is first, you're going to learn how to recognize nets and then solve a few questions. And then you're going to learn how to build nets and then solve a few questions. After that, you'll have your independent task here. So it's question 1. Place spots on a face of the cube to create a dice. Opposite faces on a dice sum up to 7. So here you could have 2, and that means here you'd need 5. Here you could have 1, and that means here you would have 6. Here you could have 3. That means here you would need 4. And then question 2. Will these nets make a cuboid? So this one will not make a cuboid, and this one, however, this one will make a cuboid. Question 2. What would the net of this pattern shape look like? It would look like this one. So number 4. The net of the cube has been cut into 2. It could be put together in several ways, so it could be folded into a cube. Here are the nets of 9 solid shapes. Each of these has been cut into 2 pieces, like the net of the cube. Which of the pieces can go together? So there could be A and H would go together. A and H. Then B and F would go together. Then C and P would go together. Then D and N would go together. Then E and K would go together. Then G. Then G and Q would go together. Then J and R would go together. Then L and M would go together, and finally S and O would go together. After that, you would go and mark it. After you had marked it, you would do your exit quiz here. Which 2D shapes make the net of a cuboid? That would be 2 squares, 4 rectangles. Which 3D shape's net is shown below? That is a cone. Which 3D shape will be made of a net with 4 triangles? That would be 3D shape of a net with 4 triangles. That would be a square-based, no, sorry, not a square-based. Triangular prism? No, that would be a tetrahedron, sorry. Will this net fold to make a cuboid? That is no, it would not. After that, you've done your maths, and you would also have finished your lessons for today on Oak National Academy website. So, well, I guess there's not much else to say. So I guess I'll see you tomorrow, and goodbye. And in the meantime, goodbye and stay safe.